Hello, universe. So, a funny thing that I did a while back was I was actually reading the book by San Ambrosio, Optimal Transport for Applied Mathematicians, and then I printed out several chapters of the book, and here's the chapter on duality here. And I basically highlighted the important sections and took a lot of notes, and then kind of organized this collection of notes on my wall, almost like a detective trying to solve a crime or something. But it was helpful for me when I did it. And here's a section on gradient flow. So I have like what I thought were the most important parts of the textbook on gradient flow here. And of course the key expression for the Wasserstein gradient. This is the functional derivative of our functional. And this Wasserstein gradient is able to essentially characterize the Euler-Lagrange equations for this functional with respect to gradient flow in the Wasserstein metric. And actually, that has really important applications for variational formulations of PDE. And here's some examples. So on this side of the wall, we have some examples. We have, if you look here, this aggregation model here can be derived as the gradient flow of this aggregation model you see in this equation here, which is basically can be viewed as a gradient flow of an interaction potential with respect to the Wasserstein metric. And so here's an interaction functional between particles. Another, let's say, yes. And more generally speaking, this is the key: diffusion, advection, and aggregation. So if you have an advection term, so here's a deterministic potential V that underlies the deterministic motion of the particles. That's the advection term. You have a diffusion term here, and then an interaction potential. Okay. So typically, this diffusion term, this should be the Laplacian. Yeah. So if we go back to this example, the Porce-Media equation, one can derive this diffusion term as the gradient flow of the functional, which is just rho to the power m. It's at the nth moment. Okay, so more generally, we can encode this in our functional as a lowercase f, a function of the density, rho. We're assuming that this is an absolutely continuous measure with respect to Lebesgue. And then, yeah, so this can encode some sort of diffusion, and for example, take rho to the power m. To get the Porce-Media equation. And then we have an interaction term. This corresponds to a convolution. So it says diffusion, advection, and aggregation, the full picture. The aggregation energy of the previous paragraph are often studied together with an internal energy and a confining potential energy using the functional as we've just described, okay? And then this gives the following equation. And this is a family of differential equations, and they're very important in fluid dynamics. I mean, very, very fundamental, actually, in fluid dynamics. So just an incredible link, an incredible and powerful link behind this fundamental PDE and its corresponding functional. And this PDE is, again, can be thought of as the Euler-Lagrange equation, corresponding to essentially movement, a gradient descent along this functional with respect to the Wasserstein metric. Now, if we go over here, this is a kind of an earlier topic. I have some more stuff on curves in the Wasserstein space. Of course, these are the curves in probability measure space. And then we have some notes on, further notes on the duality, and some notes on the Benema-Brenier algorithm. Oh, and sometimes I take handwritten notes and post them up here as well. So yeah, I basically just took a textbook and like dissected it and read through it. I've read through this textbook multiple times, but then I put out like the most important pieces on my wall here, and it's kind of cool to just go back through it, and it's almost like a nice source for a review of the key topics. So yeah, pretty awesome.